Sitting beneath the shade of a large tree, a young man named Koji counts his daily earnings, deciding that the amount is a decent payout for his efforts. His quiet moment is interrupted when a green slime suddenly lunges at a nearby father and son. Koji quickly steps in and defeats the creature, ensuring the travelers are unhurt. The father asks how he managed to defeat such a thing. In response, Koji instructs the boy to hold out his hand and places the dropped bronze coins into his palm. He points out that defeating a single slime yields 100 bronze coins, which he considers an awesome reward. The child admits that monsters are far too strong and terrifying for him to ever attempt such a feat. Koji calmly accepts the response and bids them farewell. As he begins to walk away, the boy calls out, asking if he is a legendary hero. Koji brings up his status window to satisfy their curiosity. The glowing interface reveals his identity as Koji, his role as a simple villager, and an unbelievable level of 999. The narrator then explains that in this small island nation of Hexaldria, which was once known as Japan, the appearance of monsters forced a system where people receive specific roles at birth. Some individuals possess special talents that categorize them as warriors, monks, priests, mages, sorcerers, hunters, thieves, and merchants. Others are blessed with exceptional powers, inheriting the titles of sage, hero, or king. Meanwhile, the vast majority of the population receives the most common and entirely powerless role of a villager. Because most villagers never progress past level 10, they stand absolutely no chance against monsters and must limit their livelihoods to farming or managing local inns. Elsewhere, a young girl named Alice walks toward a location known as the Ancient Cavern, driven by the knowledge that a legendary sacred sword rests inside. At the same time, Koji walks through the bustling city streets. Nearby, a noble young woman named Hexaldria addresses her companion, Rex, noting that roughly 80% of the world is currently overrun by monsters. She declares that this journey is her personal mission to save the land and asks him to accompany her, a request that Rex accepts. Koji arrives at the Adventurers Guild to hand in his completed tasks. The receptionist welcomes him back and presents him with a hefty reward of 5 gold coins. The surrounding adventurers gasp in shock, muttering about how many monsters he must have slain to earn such a fortune. Koji looks over his finances internally, calculating that he still needs 4,520 gold coins to reach his ultimate goal. Moving over to the quest board, he listens to a couple of mercenaries complain that the new monster hunting requests from the capital are going to get everyone killed. Koji spots a specific request offering 1 gold coin for hunting 30 blue devils and happily decides that this is how he will spend his afternoon. Out in the public square, Rex stands before a large crowd to deliver an impassioned speech. He questions why the capital must continuously issue dangerous quests and why traveling citizens are forced to hire private mercenaries. He proclaims that monsters are the root cause, driven by the intense mana emitted by demons. He brands the demons as the absolute evil of humanity and singles out the Demon King as the ultimate target required to bring true peace to the world. Rex formally announces his status as a hero and calls for strong recruits to join his elite party. The onlookers erupt in excitement upon realizing a hero and a beautiful sage are standing before them, prompting several seasoned fighters to volunteer. A man proudly presents his impressive level of 86, but Rex deems him unqualified. Rex explains that his sole condition is that a partner must be able to contribute just as much as he can, revealing his own status as a level 90 hero. When the crowd questions the power of his companion, Rex admits the sage is only level 42, but explains she will inevitably become an excellent support unit. Furthermore, he reveals her true identity as Princess Hexaldria, the king's 3rd daughter, who has trained her entire life for this lofty purpose. Then, an 80-level priest steps forward to offer his services, but Rex rejects him for being too old to handle a grueling journey. Another young priest claims he is only 20 years old and sits at level 72, but Rex rejects him as well, stating he cannot visualize the young man growing any stronger in the future. Finally, a timid 16-year-old priest named Tina introduces herself and reveals her level is 50. Rex gladly accepts her into the party, eyeing her figure while noting she has a brilliant future ahead. Watching the display from afar, Koji thinks to himself that this looks like a typical harem journey, surrounded by beautiful girls aimed at gaining massive prestige. As Rex calls out for one final recruit and a voluptuous woman volunteers, Koji walks away, thinking that people are free to take their motivation wherever they can find it. Koji then enters the dark cavern, hoping to finish his hunt quickly. Deep within the cave, Rex and his party fight their own battles. Rex slays a blue devil, earning immediate praise from his female companions. Koji observes them from hiding and decides it is best to avoid the group entirely, picking up his pace to leave. Meanwhile, the girls bond as they walk. Hexaldria requests that they drop her formal royal titles and simply call her by her full name, which Parna immediately shortens to a cute nickname, making the princess happy. Parna then questions Rex about their current destination, pointing out that the Demon King's castle lies in the opposite direction. Rex explains that the royal family possesses exclusive knowledge of a hidden chamber inside this cave, which houses a legendary sacred sword that can only be equipped by a hero of level 90 or higher. The royal family kept it hidden to ensure it would only be wielded by a trusted family member, and the king shared the secret to ensure his daughter's survival. Meanwhile, Koji collects another massive payout of silver, noting that only 2 targets remain because the area is unnaturally flooded with monsters. Suddenly, Alice dashes past him. Koji yells for her to stop because the path ahead is highly dangerous, but he watches in confusion as she navigates around the creatures without triggering an attack. Further inside, Rex's party struggles against the waves of enemies. Tina uses the last of her mana to heal Rex. Hexaldria apologizes for holding the group back, but Rex reassures her as they finally reach the resting place of the legendary blade. They step inside only to find Alice standing before the altar. Rex demands to know who she is, while Hexaldria senses an exceptional amount of mana radiating from the girl. Rex immediately concludes that she is a demon who somehow stole the sacred sword. He declares that all demons are enemies and that he will show no mercy despite her young age. As the 4 adventurers launch a coordinated assault against the child, Koji suddenly shows up and halts the attack. Rex demands to know his identity and connection to the girl. Koji introduces himself as a passing villager. Rex finds it impossible that a mere villager could crush their combined attack with bare hands. Koji then shows them his status screen, forcing them to realize he is telling the truth. However, the princess points to Alice's horns as undeniable proof of her demonic nature. Koji defends her by claiming the horns are just a hair accessory and falsely states that she is his younger sister. He explains that they simply accumulated a massive pile of Blue Devil horns from their hunting quest, showing them his completed log to justify the intense mana readings. Rex accepts the explanation for the moment but demands to know what she was doing in the chamber and what happened to the sacred sword. Koji casually admits that he visited the cavern a long time ago, stumbled upon the room and took the sword, which he then sold to a merchant at the market. Rex furiously states that the sword was infused with ancient magic and could only be drawn by a chosen hero, accusing Koji of lying. To prove his words, Koji effortlessly lifts the massive concrete altar that once held the blade. Rex demands to know his level, and Koji pulls up his status window once more, leaving the party horrified to see his level is 999. Hexaldria states that because the sword was meant to defeat the Demon King, Koji has stolen a priceless artifact. She asks him to rectify his mistake by joining their party, but Koji declines the offer. Rex questions his life's purpose, arguing that someone with his power could easily defeat the Demon King solo. Koji explains that he does not possess a grand purpose. He is merely trying to earn money to survive like everyone else, and he holds no personal grudge against the Demon King. Hexaldria tries to appeal to his sense of justice, asking if he cares about the suffering of innocent people or the promise of endless riches and glory. Koji admits he likes wealth but cares nothing for glory, adding that he will gladly help any suffering person he encounters. Hexaldria declares that this should be more than enough reason to fight, and desperately offers to become his wife the moment the Demon King falls. Koji rejects the marriage proposal. He tells the princess that her talk of saving people sounds self-righteous, adding that she still does not understand how the true world works before walking away with Alice. Emerging from the cavern, Alice tells Koji to wait, explaining that she has been searching for someone like him for a very long time. She then looks at him and asks him to marry her.